All right, welcome back. It's been a long time since I did a video, and I see a lot of disbelief in the community and a lot of sadness. And it makes sense. I mean, I can understand that people like it's been a 2.5 years and there is there is no pump at all. Uh, yeah, so let's I'll break a lot of things in this video. So when we are going to see a bull run, when the charts are going to flip to upside, and when exactly it's going to be. Okay, let's get started. So basically, it started in May 2023. It did a 10x in the first week, and from then onwards, it went to sideways. So basically, here we had a SEC news. It broke down to around 403, and then it pumped like a 6x, and here exactly predicted it's going to continue, it's going to break down because it doesn't have a structure to go any much higher. So that is where exactly it broke below here, and then I called the bottom at around 403 to 404 zone. Exactly, it got reversed, and everyone like including me, I thought like it's going to play double bottom structure. Sorry, let me remove it. So even I thought like it will going to do a double bottom and it will go push through the new all-time high. But what happened, and everyone missed this pattern where it printed a bear flag. You can see it clearly, and broke below this level. So that is where it printed a new all-time low at around 40165. So that is where exactly I predicted that is the bottom, and then it did a like a 3x, well and good, but it didn't hold there because it got resistance, like monthly resistance, once in May 2023, and then March 2024, and then December 2024. So that's where it got below this trend line. And so it touched this trend line, the lower trend line. So now let's see like how when it's going to break, right? So the triangle, it will be broken when the price reaches half of the sacrifice price, and the confirmation at 4056. So that is where it will make a new all-time, new local top. So that gives us the confirmation. So when can it happen? So it can happen between October to December, right? And also I'll show you in a lower time frame so that you can see it clearly. So then when it's going to break, between October and the December, right? So there's a question now. Before going to that, let's focus on the macro level. Then I'll show you when it's going to possibly, like, when it's going to break. So we are in a downtrend from last how many days? Around 84 days. And I can say you that basically a Polshen ecosystem, whole ecosystem has the thinnest liquidity out of all layer 1 tokens or layer 2 ecosystems, right? And this is the massive squeeze I have ever seen in any crypto chart. So this kind of chart only one thing like has, that is Polygon. So now let's go there and see the pattern. So here you can see, okay, let me zoom in so that you can see it clearly. So here you can see Matic has been trending, like even like initially it did a almost 17x, and I got somewhere here and I did a 10x on this one, and then it went sideways for how many days? For 644 days. So let's assume like there are a lot of people here, even on the Polygon, they got in disbelief, they got sadness, and people are in shambles. So, and then in November or end of October or the early November, that is where it got the traction into the uptrend. So, and it at the all-time high, it got the resistance for 4 weeks, and then it popped like anything. So basically, from this bottom, like from the trajectory from bottom to the top, it did around 250x, right? And within the 6 to 7 months. Now let's go back to the pulse chain. So here, even like in October, I believe like we'll bottom in October, and then we'll slowly go into November. That might print around 4045. Even it could break. The high probability is that it could break this massive channel, and it will go higher. Now let's go into the lower time frame so that I can explain you that. Okay, so this is the alert time frame where you can see it clearly. It's a double bottom here, first bottom, second bottom, and then the handle it is developing. So now, if you see, this is the falling wedge. Here you can see even the falling wedge pattern, right? And here also you can see the falling wedge pattern. So now, so basically it's matching. Here you can see the downstairs, it's matching with the July fractal. So now let's take the bar pattern of the July fractal. So now match it here, right? It's almost matching, right? Okay, now even don't take that. Now let's take from the rounded bottom here to the major trend line. So now keep it here. If you see, it exactly it's breaking in early November, right? Yeah. So, and also it will go around 5069 or something. So that is where it will break the previous local top. And also you can see here almost it is touching this trend line and it went back. So yeah, if it is matching July fractal, then it's going to break the pattern in November. And now let's take the April fractal. I'll put it in a different color so that you can compare it clearly. So now let's keep it here. And yeah, it broke in October. It will tease. It might go below the channel. So that is where a lot of people that is where people might even it could be the last shakeout could be, and then in the November, like mid-November, it's going to break. So in both of these fractals, so one could be a fake out in October, and then real breakout could happen in November. And then as we saw in Matic, it could go very high. So now let's see. So here you can see here we did like a 6x. So that is where, so here it did a 10x, right? 10x, 6x, 3x, almost 3x. So it has been, so what I see is like it has been chopped. A lot of pecans here. The first shakeout, there's a second shakeout, and this is the third shakeout, the tremendous shakeout, right? And even here small shakeouts you can see. So these were a lot of people got sold, right? And And so I'll show you one more thing. So we have I'll show you the bridge stats. So until now, $100 million been bridged into Pulse chain. So where all that money went, right? So basically the market maker. So one cannot fight the market maker. So market maker chopping off every single time, like every single potential breakouts. Here massively this slammed down. Here also this slammed down. Here this slammed down. Here this slammed down. And also with the market makers, sell pressure also that's also there. That's why Richard Hart keeps saying hello sell pressure in some videos, right? So all those sell pressures we are being those sell pressures are gone. And also one more example what I show you is like in Hex back in July. Where is it? Yeah, here. Basically around 1 billion Hex been sold out here, exactly here. And I told you that's the bottom, right? Around 0.5 cent basically. So that is when it did a how much, like 4x from half a cent to 1.5 cents. Yeah, give or take 3x it did. And similar to that, now there is a major whale, so that has been who has been selling here, and they have around 7.5 billion calls. They could be selling anytime soon, like could be tomorrow. If you go to the transactions, you can find that they sold around 10 billion calls or something. Yeah, so 10 hours ago you can see 5.5 billion calls. They swapped for 36 ETH, and then they sold 20 million hex to 25 ETH, and then 2 days back they sold. So within 2 more days they'll empty all their pulse bags. So that is when I believe like we see a pump. It could be a fake out, or we never know, because at this point of time anything can happen. So so usually, like whenever you see these candles, right, monthly candles, they mark the bottoms with the green candle. So I believe like we unlikely we see a breaking this channel in October, but the possibilities are there for November. As I said, it'll fake out and then it'll break out. So that is the last thing we could ever see, these prices ever again. It won't. I believe it won't even return to sacrifice, but I believe like it won't return to sacrifice price even in the next bear market. Because how much the pulse like treasury is having. It's loading slow. Around it is having around 160,000 ETH, so that is around 700 million, right? So let's say, okay, now let's go to the Pampi. Let me close. Okay, let's go to Pampi. Now let's say ETH is going to $20,000. If it does, then the reserve will be doing like around 3.5 billion worth of reserve. Let's say if a $1 billion, it will be bridged to Pulse chain and bought Pulse, because from Pulse only, like it is having, when Pulse price increases, all the Pulse chain liquidity pairs they'll also pump along with Pulse. So that way you pump everything, like the whole ecosystem that way. So I believe let's say out of 3.5 billion, let's say 1 billion is bridged in, and then let's put a sell pressure like 77% and zero liquidity reduction. So that gives around a 1000x pump in with the sell pressure, right? And let's say if I make it zero sell pressure, calculate, so that will go like 15,000x for pulse chain. So I don't even do that. So I'll choose 77% sell pressure. So also in worst case, right? Do a buy 10 here. So you will get around 800, give or take 800x. So in the worst scenario, so let's say do buy 10, how much it will be? 60 cents hex. That will print a new all-time high, and then pulse will be around a quarter of a cent. Pulse chain is 2 cents, but it could even, so since it's a major pair, it could even stay here around 2 to 3 cents. So which is my my moderate price. Yeah, even let's say even you chop up by 10, so how much will be? 2 cents, right? So 2 cents will be almost like a 150x or something from the bottom. And then ink, let's do by 10, how much will come? $100. So that gives around 250x from bottom. So even though I'm adding some sell pressure and also doing again by 10 worst to worst scenario, still we are getting a minimum of 100x across the course. So that is what I'm expecting, and so that is where you see a massive squeeze because of the thinnest liquidity it ever had, like any chains ever had. Yeah, so that is where my bull thesis, like November, it's going to be at least 100x to 1000x in the bull run. So now let's get into the PLSX. So okay, PLSX kissing this lower trend line from a long time. You can see on a monthly chart the huge resistance at around half of the sacrifice price. So first time it got rejected in 2023, second time it got rejected in 2024 March, and then 2024 December, right? 3 times, just like the pulse. Now it's kissing this trend line. So once it goes like it does like 150% from here, yeah, give or take a 2.5x. So that is where we get that is where we get the confirmation on the bull run, and which is around more than half of the sacrifice price. Okay, now let's do when it's going to do that. So either it'll do a fake out in October. It could do maybe a 50% in October, and then it'll print a bull candle in the November. Yeah. So now let's get into the lower time frame. Likewise, Pulse is doing. You can see the previous one is around. It bottomed at around 4014, and then 40165, and 402. So every time it's not making a new lows here, right? So that is where you see a strong support. Like a lot of buyers are holding it quite well, and also I can say kind of a triple bottom. If you ignore this, it is not even a triple bottom. It could be a double bottom here and then handle, right? So that is where it will squeeze in November, and yeah. So from once it break this thing, it will print a new all-time high. It could be even in December. We can see as I'm saying, from a long term, we could see by December, we could see at least a sacrifice price to a new all-time high, and then followed by 2026 pump, which no one is expecting. And I've been saying from a long time that end of the year bull run won't end. It will continue into 2026, but how long it will go, it depends on the move in 2026. Yeah, so if you're holding PLSX, you don't have to worry about the in USD. Yeah, it could do sack price to a new all-time high in December. Okay, that is on the PLSX. Now hex. Let's get into the monthly chart on the macro level. Here you can see it's doing a falling wedge. Even it is whenever it's touching the 3 cents range, that is where it is getting rejected, right, every time. And it found the bottom around 0038, and I called here actually. Yeah, it pumped, and I thought it'll continue, but again there's a lot of chop in ETH, so that's why market makers, they don't want to go higher, get rid of the weekends, and now it'll print a new all-time high in or at least it'll catch up to 3 cents in December, possibly a new all-time high as well. It could print in December. Now let's get into the macro level. So again, it's a if you count it as a bull, it can be a bull flag, and even if you don't consider this pole, just this one, it is in a falling wedge, right? It is extending. Yeah, so likely there is a bottom for that. Let's go to the line because of the scam wicks. Okay, so this is where it will break. It will break this channel. Maybe in end of October we could see, or the November we could see a new local top, like around 1.5 cents, followed by 3 cents in the December, and then new all-time high as well. So if you see, every single chart is saying that in November we do a new local top, and then in December we could see sack price to new all-time high. So that's what I see in every single course chart. Okay, now let's move to the final one, ink. So ink has been in a downtrend, right? So there's a lot of chop, here basically a lot of whales got in it around $4. They've been holding from this whole period. I thought it'll go to a new lows, but they keep holding, so that's why there's a lot of chop. If they would have left it like that, what would happen is it'll make a double bottom. It will be even stronger. Not like this, sorry. It will be double bottom. It'll go parabolic move. So since they're holding, they're not selling their bags to other people. Yeah, so now it's been in a basically it's a bearish pattern, but it will break above here, and yeah, it will print a new all-time high. It will go to at least 100. Yeah, even same here. It might in November it could do. It will break around $2. Since it's a forming token, it might even take delay to December. So either November or December it could break. Yeah, and it will go slower since it's a yield coin, and a lot of whales, they don't want to give up. They want to sell higher, so it will go slower, but it will break a new all-time high by end of this bull run, at least $100, as I said. Now let's get into the macro level. So even here it is in a falling wedge. Yeah, so it has to break this trend line. It'll go give or take November or December, and then it'll print a like new local top, 2.5 like more than $2.5, around $3. Yeah, and the bull run will be continuing, but slowly compared to other coins because of too many whales are here. Yeah, so like too many whales are here, but they want to sell at keep on selling higher, so that's why it will go slower. But yeah, it will print. It will go more than $100. So that has been said. Like just we have to wait around give or take maybe 60 days at max. Not even 60 days, but I'm saying the worst case because every time when I say worst scenario, that's happening, and no best cases are happening. So yeah, worst case scenario, 60 days. That's it. End of our sad days. Yeah, and so when it's going to go pump quite a lot, right? Let's get into the pulse trend. Let's say it's going to, people may not care if it is sacrifice price, which is 3x, but still they have eyeballs. They might go still silent, and even though it hit a new all-time high, they might think like it will go below the sacrifice price to buy, but it won't stop, can't stop. It keep on going higher. So when it's still making higher, higher highs, like that means when it is keep on printing a new all-time highs every day. So that is when people will come here, they prison, right? Because you do so nowadays we are not seeing any massive returns in crypto. So only the one that can do is the Pulsion ecosystem because of the thinnest liquidity, a lot of strong holders, a strong community, and it has been shaking out all the weak hands from 2.5 years. So that's the same reason why Matic pumped. And but what the difference between Matic and Pulsion is layer 1, Matic is layer 2. Matic doesn't have a reserve. Pulsion has a 160,000 ETH reserve, and they don't have a strong founder like Richard. They don't have strong community like Hexicans or Pulsicans. Yeah, so there are a lot of differences. So that's why Pulse will outperform even Polygon. Yeah, so just you need patience for 2 more months at max. That's it, and then we all could retire. See you soon.